Well, welcome back. Now we'll cover our fourth set of lectures for microeconomics. We'll briefly look at the topic of market mechanism, and then after that we'll look at the topic of production. All right, if you see your lecture notes that on market mechanism, all right, before I commence the class of market mechanism, I will talk about just a recap of supply and demand analysis. So you would know that the law of supply describes the nature and behavior of producers. When prices increase, supply increases. So producers will be always willing to supply goods and services at an increased price. All right, the law of demand describes the nature and behavior of consumers' demand. When price decreases, demand decreases. So when price of a good or services not decreases, rather, when price of a good or services decreases, demand decreases. That means that people or consumers are willing to pay a lower price for a particular good or service. So if a good or service, if the price sort of drops, more and more people will try and buy that particular good or product. So always know that the supply curve is always upward sloping because of the fact that an increase in prices as a reaction or a reactionary effect of increase in supply, whereas the demand curve is downward sloping, where a decrease in price will cause an increase in demand. All right, supply and demand determined by the 5 forces of demand and supply. So income, price, government intervention, consumer preference, and substitutes. All right, what is the market mechanism? When you look at your lecture notes, the market mechanism is a system of the market where the forces of demand and supply determine the price and the quantity of goods and services traded. So the market mechanism would always be a system of market where the forces of demand and supply basically determined by the price and the quantity of goods and services traded. The market mechanism relies on the invisible end of the market, so Adam Smith's theory of the market tending to correcting itself. All right, the market mechanism is basically has 3 functions. First function in your lecture notes, you see that it is a signaling function. The second function is a giving of incentives, and the third function is the rationing function. The market mechanism sort of allows the market to move an equilibrium point and distribute resources efficiently. So the invisible end of the market comes in because of the problem of scarcity, and to find some sort of mechanism or manner in which it can distribute resources efficiently. All right, how to analyze the market mechanism. To analyze the market mechanism, we look at the supply and demand model or the supply and demand curve. All right, the vertical axis, I'm looking at the slide with the number 2 that talks about supply and demand model and market equilibrium. So when you look at the graph there, you'll see that the vertical axis shows on your left, it shows the price of the good measured in Kina dollar. And this is the price that the seller will receive for a given quantity supplied and the price the buyer will pay for a given quantity demanded. The original axis shows the quantity demanded and supplied, and Q measured in a number of units per period. So you see that there's a point there where it says quantity demanded and the quantity supplied, and they meet at price 0, which is the equilibrium. And then you see that surplus is above the meeting point and shortage is below the meeting point as well. So when you see that, it talks about the fundamentals of supply and demand. But in the next class, we will go on to look at what we mean when we say market mechanism, supply and demand.